All right, welcome to the third and final review of the evening. Up this time is Reality Break. Rewrite the universe, break reality to change your fate, and use your powers to stop sinister forces from altering existence itself. Discover the origin of your new abilities in this fast paced ARPG loot collection roguelike, where you will bend, break, and change the laws of the very universe before you. So, yeah, that's a lot of adjectives to describe a game. Like, and I guess that does fundamentally hold water. Um, but this is a space shoot 'em up at its core. And I think the first thing to get out of the way is it took me by surprise because this is not our first rodeo when it comes to space combat games of this nature. But what surprised me was how arcadey it is. As in, like, this game outside of the ARPG and the roguelike shit could have very well fit into an arcade. With its physics and momentum. Like, you take a look at this game, and what would you imagine how it would play like? Or it would play similar to other games that we've covered on the channel that I unfortunately can't remember offhand right now. Call it a consequence of doing on average 4 games week in and week out, but you're not dealing with things like thrust, inertia, gravity, Newtonian physics. No. This is moving like, for lack of a better term, a video game. Like your turns are instantaneous. You stop on a dime.
So everything works exactly the way that Asteroids doesn't?
Yes. Or Gravatar, or anything that is attempting to simulate real world physics. No. This is much more action packed and frantic and all of those buzzwords. And I wasn't expecting this game to play that way. And it could be a turnoff for some, especially given how long this game is. Because despite it playing like an arcade game, its overall systems indicate something for longer play. Because you do collect a lot of loot. You will be upgrading your systems pretty constantly as you pick up more loot. Also worth noting, your inventory is limited, so you'll be not doing inventory Tetris so much, although there are some items that'll take up 2 slots. But, you will be playing the RPG, green numbers good, red numbers bad, for the most part. Yeah, there are some items where one stat is higher, the other stat is lower. And also, this is supplemented with a couple of secondary actions, like you will get a boost and a secondary weapon. And, there are multiple types of boosts and multiple types of secondary weapons. Like, I had a pulse weapon at one point, then a missile. I had a short-range boost at one point, and then a constant boost at another point. So it definitely knows how to mix things up. But the big mechanic this game really wants to go all in on is what they call the rewrite mechanic. In-game, it is presented as this ancient alien technology that's calling out in a mysterious voice to you, and allows you to rewrite the fundamental rules of, from the universe to a specific item. And you can rewrite an item to have different specs, provided you have enough loot for it. I forget the specific kind, or I think it's like different elements for different things. Like you need iron for something or aluminum for another thing, that kind of deal. And the roguelike part comes down to the rewriting of the universe. Like the meta game, if you will. Unlocking meta abilities, resetting your everything. Hence roguelike. And it carries itself rather well. In general, this is a solid game. I initially thought I would have more to say about it, but not. It's still a space game, so no matter how many systems you bolt on it, you're still going to be, shooting ships. Also worth noting, this is one of the most generous roguelikes I've played in a good long while. Because I didn't get blasted to bits one mission in or whatever. Which also feeds into the longevity aspect of the game. Also worth mentioning that it's one of these space games that treats space in 2 dimensions. So you won't have to worry about the depthness of space, for lack of a better term. That z-axis. And you will also get very generous shields, which you can recharge. Yeah, that's the pulse weapon I had. I think the biggest bone of contention might come from the price. Because this game is clocking in at a pretty weighty $24.99, $25. It is at the tail end of its discount period, $22.49. Still, that's over $20. And I'm not sure I could recommend this game at $25. $15 would have been a solid recommend. $20 would have been stretching it. $25. I think the game is a little too shallow in its gameplay systems to warrant that price. What about you, Petty? You've been playing the game. Where do you line up on this?
As far as the demo goes, it feels all right, but yeah, for like $25, not sure on that.
Yeah, and I think that's the biggest thing going against Reality Break right now.
Mm-hmm.
I think it's just a touch overpriced for what it offers. I mean, it's promising this grand adventure and all that, but as much as I like the gameplay, this kind of Twitch gaming isn't something I want to play for hours on end.
Yeah, this is like like a Steam Deck game you'd pick up and play
Yeah.
for a few minutes when you have nothing else to do.
Yeah. And if I'm remembering correctly, I think this is okay. Its Steam Deck compatibility is unknown. So it's kind of your mileage may vary there, but
Right.
I get what you're saying. So overall, it's a solid game that I think is a touch overpriced at this point in time. Because otherwise, the audio visual components are good. Though I will grant that the music is fairly unmemorable, and that I am having trouble remembering a single note of it. It's never a good sign. But like I said, the game plays well. It looks fine. It's just, 25 quid, bit steep. All right. Right. So, anything else to add to Reality Break here?
No, I think I'm good.
All right. Right. So, yeah, that'll about do it for not just this review, but this review session. So, coming up on the week ahead, on Wednesday, February 26th, we will be welcoming Suit and Tie 22. They are the developer of the upcoming game Merchant 64, which made a fair amount of headlines not too long ago. But in case you missed it, Merchant 64 is a low poly 3D adventure and a short, heartfelt love letter to late 90s gaming. This is a small game designed to be a delightful short adventure with multiple endings. So look forward to that. We do have a new episode of MSP planned as well. No Friday show this week. That got delayed until April. But yeah. So until next time, I shall wish you good gaming.